By the way, the handle they're using, you can see there.
So Kamala HQ is turning into headquarters, and it's where you can go online to get basically the latest of what's going on.
All right. Was that it? That was it. Okay. What's going on out there? This is CNN covering it.
By the way, the handle they're using, you can see there. We're zooming in on it. At headquarters_67. 67, as the kids used to say. Well, you know, used to say a lot of things. And I think they also used to say, that's probably cringe.
I don't know. I think the site's pretty groovy, man. I mean, 6'7", that's what they're talking about. That is so old. I'm telling you, when my special lady friend's 8-year-old doesn't say that anymore, you know it's passé. That's going to do it.
If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night, February 5th. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some sports eventually. Vinnie Mac will not be on the show tonight. He is in the air, probably on, let's say, JetBlue or Southwest, I'm going to guess, on his way home from, I believe, West Palm Beach, Florida to New York, Long Island. But Delgado's here.
Hey.
It's me and Delgado. Hey. I saw Delgado in the parking lot, driving in.
Well, you sound like Slick.
And I almost, I beeped at him.
Yes. You didn't just beep at me. You leaned on the friggin' horn like a jackass as I'm trying to back up next to Harry's car.
You stopped and looked like, who is this?
I'm like, who the?
Hello. No, man. So Delgado's going to have some headlines.
Yes.
Slick will have some sports. Vinnie Mac is off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow night at the America First Warehouse, where we'll be tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Glad you're in. Hope you had a good day, everybody. Lots of news, lots of things to get to. Delgado, I know his first story is an update.
Yes.
On the Savannah Guthrie and her mom, and I hope it's a good update. I don't know what the update is. So we'll get to that in a second. But let's continue the theme, as we have been talking about the midterms, the election, and most importantly, the Republican Party. And let's do tonight's first word. Well, let's begin tonight with a simple truth, one that is so obvious, it's rarely said out loud anymore. For almost all of human history, life was brutal. Scarcity was the rule. War was constant. Slavery was normal. Disease was unchecked. Most people lived short, miserable lives and died without ever knowing comfort, security, or opportunity, maybe most importantly. That was the human story right up till a blink of an eye ago. And today, here in the United States of America, even our poorest citizens live better than kings did not very long ago. That did not happen by accident. It didn't happen because government planners are so brilliant. It certainly didn't happen because bureaucrats were compassionate. It didn't happen because the elites managed the society so well and correctly. No, it happened because generations of Americans were free. Free to work, free to build, free to invent, free to own property, free to fail, and then free to try again. Everything we have today is the inheritance of people who are no longer here. The founders who restrained power with a constitution, the soldiers who preserved the Union, the industrialists who turned energy into abundance, the innovators who compressed the world into silicon and code. We are living off the accumulated capital, economic, moral, and institutional, of people who understood something our ruling class today no longer does. That prosperity came from a specific formula: individual liberty, free markets, private property, and limited government. Those ideas, imperfectly applied but fiercely defended, turned a frontier nation into a continental power, an industrial juggernaut, and the greatest engine of prosperity the world's ever known. And that, my friends, is the system that our federal government has spent the last 50 years methodically sabotaging. On virtually every front, Washington has now inserted itself where it does not belong, where it was never authorized, and where it consistently makes things worse. And no matter how catastrophic the results, no one is ever held accountable. The government only grows, its power only expands, its failures only multiply. If you want proof, look at the economic growth of the country. Average annual GDP growth by decades since the 1950s, down, down, and down. Now pause and think about what that means. In the 1950s, computers filled entire rooms and could barely perform a few thousand calculations per second. Today, a device in your pocket is billions of times more powerful. We're more productive, more connected, more technologically capable than any civilization in history. And yet, our economic growth is half of what it was. It should be exploding. It should be unprecedented. It should be historic. Instead, it's anemic. Why? Because the only thing that has grown faster than the technology over the last half century is government control. Today, the federal government intrudes into nearly every aspect of your life: what you drive, how you build, what you buy, how communities are shaped, how businesses operate, how families are regulated, what kind of roof you can put on your house, what kind of dishwasher you can put in your house. Meanwhile, it fails at the most basic responsibilities of civilization: enforcing the law, securing the border, maintaining public order, and safeguarding the integrity of elections. Instead of protecting society, it manages it. Instead of enforcing the law, it politicizes it. Instead of defending liberty, it constrains it. And the worst part, the system is designed so that elections barely change anything. Budgets remain bloated, programs remain permanent, power circulates between government agencies, NGOs, and corporate boardrooms. Different faces, same agenda. This is how republics decay, not all at once, but through managed decline. Now, here's the reality no one in Washington wants to confront. Nations, like people, face inflection points, moments when choices determine whether decline is arrested or accelerated. We've seen them before: revolution or submission, union or dissolution, strength or surrender. We're at one now, this one, and it centers on whether the country remains a constitutional republic governed by its citizens, or it becomes a permanently managed state where outcomes are decided before the ballots are cast. Right now, we're watching Senate leadership, John Thune in particular, betray you, the American people, once again on what may be the lowest hanging fruit in modern political history, the SAVE Act. This is not some radical proposal. This is not fringe. It's not controversial. This is about ensuring that only American citizens vote in American elections. Something so basic, so fundamental that even a majority of Democrats say they'd support it. Now, yes, it's true the president does not run Congress. He doesn't run the Senate. That's Civics 101 stuff. But let's also be clear about something else. The president of the United States commands the largest political megaphone on the planet. And when an issue this clear-cut is popular and this consequential is being slow-walked or sabotaged by members of his own party, silence is not leadership. If there was ever a moment to lead, this is it. The president should be calling on every Republican senator blocking this bill. And if they refuse to listen, he should be calling them out by name, publicly, relentlessly. He knows how to do it. We've seen it before. He should be holding rallies in their states. He should be demanding answers. He should be encouraging voters to light up phone lines, town halls, offices, until those senators understand that this is not optional. Every lever of influence he has, every ounce of political capital, right now. Because this is where the rubber meets the road. If Congress cannot pass a bill guaranteeing honest elections now, while there's still time, then nothing else we argue about matters. Not spending, not courts, not culture, not policy. This is the line. And if it isn't held, the republic won't be lost all at once, but it will be lost quietly, permanently. Now, maybe the SAVE Act is not perfect, but if we do not restore trust in elections, real, enforceable trust, everything else is theater. The American system that created unprecedented prosperity cannot survive indefinitely if it is smothered by a central power, unaccountable bureaucracy, and a political class insulated from consequences. The question is no longer what went wrong. The question is whether there is still time to fix it before the inheritance is fully spent. Because history is clear about one thing. Civilizations don't collapse because they lack resources. They collapse because they abandon the principles that created them. And once that happens, there is no bailout. And that's tonight's first word. And I was happy to see the president, right before we came on air, do exactly that and start to engage on the SAVE Act.
He needs to.
Which Mike Lee said that he thought maybe he would today after seeing him at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning. President truthed out not too long ago, Americans' elections are rigged, stolen, and are a laughingstock all over the world. We're either going to fix them or we won't have a country any longer. I'm asking Republicans to fight for the following. Save America Act. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of United States citizenship to register for voting. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. That from the president tonight. So,
yeah,
I mean, right on timing and right on the money.
It's a slam dunk when you look at the numbers. And I've got some numbers from Harriet, and I'll play later. But it's one of those 80-20 issues where both sides of the aisle are basically 80-20 on this. On the Republican side, more than 80, almost 90. On the Democrat side, over 70, should be closer to 80, I think. But you still have this slow walking. And you mentioned people from our own party sitting there sabotaging, doing whatever they can, because let's face it, they're not really who they say they are. It is a theater, Damon, and these people are actors, terrible actors, because we see right through them. We know exactly what they're doing. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't unsee how they're trying to manipulate the system and slow walk this to, we'll do it next year. When the possibility is we may not have the votes to do it next year. It needs to be done now. And again, the president needs to make this, it needs to be an actual item like from this day forward until it gets done, and not to wait any longer. And like you said, call them out. And I'm a big proponent of calling these people out, just like in the movie Dave. I know it's a movie from the 90s with Kevin Kline as an impersonator of the president, but he gets it done. Why? Because he does it in front of the American people. He does it in front of the cameras. He calls these people out, and he gets what he wants. And I think if the president does that, I don't think you wouldn't find many Americans, normal thinking Americans who would speak against that, because it'd be like, yeah, answer that question. Why don't you support this? I gotta show ID just to walk into a freaking library these days. So why not for one of the most important things that we do in this country, and that is our right to vote? So,
well, the first thing you'd have to do is go back on at least in the previous months telling us how great Mike Johnson and John Thune are doing, because neither one is doing a great job. And now specifically we're focused on Thune. So for him to do what you just said, he'd have to be calling out his leader in the Senate, which is, he's a McConnellite. He's just as bad. He's just a younger version. He learned, as I always say, he learned from the best. He stood behind him. He stood behind the old frozen turtle for all those years and watched how he operated. And he's picked up the mantle. And I mean, yeah, he's a younger version, so maybe he's going to do some things differently. But when it comes to the big decisions, when it comes to the priorities that matter to you, the level of excuses they have on why they can't do it, there is no difference between him and McConnell.
Yeah, he's got to start treating Johnson and Thune like he treats Caitlin Collins, to their face, in front of the cameras, and see how they respond.
Yeah, well, Slickster's here. He's going to do some sports. We'll say hello to him when we get back. Plus, we'll do some headline news, all on a busy Thursday night. Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
for a prime time on Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime for prime time, Big D. Come on.
Prime, I didn't realize Prime even had live TV. Shows you what I know, and I have Prime.
Man.
So that's cool. It looks good, too. I looked in the guide. I should actually pull that up when we promo it here.
Oh, that guy?
That guy.
What was that?
Trump RX.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
You Homer.
Can you put that in the rundown, Aaron? At least the name? Thanks. That's the picture. Can you give me the dimensions and I'll give you one? Yeah, I'll do it.
That a picture of us?
Chat, live in the chat. Sergeant Arby
Sergeant Arby. I haven't heard from him in a while.
wants to know what I'm drinking. It's just seltzer.
Staff Sergeant Arby. I love him.
It's
What's
a
up, Sarge?
seltzer.
I'll say hello to everybody. I just got to get settled, and I'll come in at 8:30 and say hello to our friends.
Rumble, rumble. Howdy to the rumblers. Yowdy, yowdy. Drake 99, Ordinary Passenger, Panama Tom,
Don't laugh at my groin.
John D, S351, RD Bull, Frederick Leathers.
RD Bull, come on.
Sounds like a porn name, Frederick Leathers.
That does sound wild.
Euro Transplant, Snotty Scotty, Rush the Band.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Real America's Voice. Slickster's in the house. He's going to do some sports. Slick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Good day, busy, a lot of chamber work. I'm just came in from a chamber meeting, so transitioning from the public sector back to the private sector right now.
Okay,
public
very
television.
good. Very good, very good. Slick will have some sports coming up here in a second. Rick Delgado's going to have some headline news. Vinnie Mac is off tonight. Hey, if you didn't know, by the way, if you need another way to be able to watch Real America's Voice.
Ooh.
Well, now Real America's Voice is on Prime Video.
Get out of town.
Come on.
Real America's Voice on Prime Video. That's right. Prime Video not only has obviously movies, TV shows, but now they have, or maybe they've had, but they have live TV.
Wow.
And if you go to live TV at the Prime Video website right there, you'll see Real America's Voice right over here.
I'm going to check right now.
And, of course,
Man.
there's live from Studio 6B where we're on now, 8:18, so it's live.
I don't believe you.
That's Amazon.
I mean, yeah, it's Amazon. That's Amazon Prime, so check it out.
Come on.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
As
Nice.
Rav continues their takeover of the media world,
Go Rav.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
and just another way you can watch us.
That's awesome, man.
And I'll bet it looks great, just like Samsung TV Plus and all the places.
I
It
love
just-
watching it at home on Samsung TV Plus. Big
Isn't
D.
that an awesome
The
platform?
picture is like,
Yeah. So just another great way to watch Real America's Voice right there on Prime Video. So I mean, most people, I think, at this point have Prime. I don't know how you can live without Prime when you get stuff, same day flown and dropped on top of your house from some drone.
Fuchsia Fedora at 2 a.m. I got it.
So if you got Prime, you're paying whatever it is for the year, $99 to get all, same day shipping or whatever it is. Now you get this included.
And the football games and everything else.
Real America's Voice on Prime Video. There you go. So check it out.
They got Ancient Aliens on here too.
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
All right, let's do some ancient news with the ancient alien himself. That's Rick Delgado.
What?
So what's the update on the
on the Samantha Guthrie's mom? Okay, well, updates is there's a whole lot of there's some updates. There's not a lot, unfortunately, as the search for Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie, continues as the family pleads for a way to communicate with the captors as the first deadline has passed. The first deadline was set for 5 p.m. today, Thursday, though they weren't sure. The captors, if there are some captors, they didn't post whether it was Eastern time, Pacific time. They didn't give a time zone at which they were holding that to. So we'll have to see what happens there. What we know so far, though, the authorities in Pima County, they continue to investigate the disappearance of the 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of the NBC Today co-host Savannah Guthrie, as a possible abduction. Law enforcement has not identified any suspects or persons of interest at this time, and they're urging the public to avoid spreading unverified information. Some of that stuff I think we saw last night during the show kind of popping around on social media. Be careful of that. We did play the clip of Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posting that video, the emotional video yesterday, calling for anyone holding their mother to show proof of life, basically emphasizing her health and need for medical attention. And, which was interesting because, when they sent that message out, it was basically saying, talk to us, reach out to us, because I guess this ransom demand, whatever they sent, left no way for the family or the authorities to reach out to these people. If usually with an abduction, if you're looking for a ransom, you're waiting for them to reach out to you and say, okay, here's how this is going to work. But there was no way to contact these people, which is an odd kind of thing to happen when you're dealing with, basically an abduction. Also, when it comes to the Guthrie family, the brother also reached out today, pleading for the captors to, basically give them something, reach out, let them know that they're there, and hopefully with their fingers crossed, make sure their mom is still with us.
I mean,
so
it's just
a
strangest, horrible story I can ever remember. I saw driving in tonight. I was listening to Grant Stinchfield, as I do most nights I drive in, and he had somebody on, a former law enforcement investigator, I believe, and he was saying, unfortunately, he thought the chances of survival were getting slimmer and slimmer, obviously, by the day, if not already gone. And that at this point, it would just be trying to recover a body, which I was kind of devastated to hear. I hope that's not true.
Well, usually in these cases, and I've heard other investigators talk about, the first 48 hours are the most crucial. That's when things are, your best chance of finding something or getting the person back alive is usually within that time frame.
But if these guys knew who they were taking, which I've heard most opinions to think they are, They have obviously realized that the entire world, including the full force of the federal government, is now focused on them, wherever they are.
Yeah.
And if they know that, then they know enough about, you would think, her health issues. Well, if they legitimately think they're going to try to get something for the hostage, what's the plan here?
Right. And you know what? That's something that the police have not mentioned, if they know if her medication was taken with her, which is interesting. So that's some of the information I guess they're keeping close to the chest, so to speak, and not sharing, because, of course, they're saying she's in need of this critical medication because of her fragile health. And that would probably also lead you to believe if they took the medication, then this person has intimate details of this person and, of course, her health. To be able to say, you know what, I got to keep this person alive. Let me make sure I have all the medication, which means chances are that she knows this person or these people who took her. So that's another interesting. You know what? Another interesting thing, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet, is the use of geofencing. Because I know they were able to do that for January 6th. They rounded up thousands of people using geofencing, and I know there was no video that they can go to see, from the Ring camera, because they didn't pay the bill. Evidently, they didn't renew the subscription for the video part to store the video that's captured when the camera goes off. I wonder if they can use geofencing to kind of say, okay, we've got between this time and this time, let's look for pings of cell phones, because most people don't leave the house without a cell phone. True. Right? Very true. And if they come across pings with a number that just doesn't belong, it kind of narrows down their search. I wonder if that's what they're doing. If that were the case, you would think they would already have that information.
Wasn't there an Apple Watch involved?
There was, but it was left at home along with her phone, which is when they knew that the pacemaker, because it was set up with an alert on the phone and the Apple Watch. I guess it disconnected when she was taken from the house.
I mean, it just seems to me that video yesterday presents numerous things to think about, and why it was made yesterday, the timing of it, who was in the room when it was made. Who made the decision that was the time to release it? I don't know. That video yesterday can't just be two sisters and a brother decide to get together and put out a video. I just can't believe that. That has to be a step in the progress of trying to follow some clues or lock something, new piece of evidence or something down to make that video and release it yesterday. I mean, I can't just imagine they randomly just thought, let's just do this now.
No, it was to prompt them to reach out to them, because again, from what we're understanding, the ransom demands did not include a way to actually contact the quote-unquote abductors. So how can you reach them and say, okay, we've got whatever you want, let's make the exchange, if there's no way to contact them to let them know? So I think that was meant to prompt them to see if they can get another reaction or another ransom note sent, and see if that generates some more clues.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll do some sports. We'll check more headlines. We got a couple things as well. Thursday night, Real America's Voice, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
I'm always in the YouTube's chat. We had a $5 super chat from Les Durham in the YouTube chat, wishing a happy birthday to James Reed. James Reed's in the YouTube chat, usually most nights there. So happy birthday, James Reed.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Good stuff. February 5th.
Chat. What's up, live in the chat. What is this? Panama Tom says, please read Natalie's op-ed in the American Conservative. This sounds like an axe to grind. Huh. Let's see.
Broke spoke.
Story am I supposed to be?
Broke spoke. My man.
Broken the spoke.
Broken spoke. Palmer Brooks treasurer. Broke spoke.
Panama Tom, what is the name of that article? That's an op-ed.
Broke spoke says, where is Papa tonight? Papa's off tonight. Papa doesn't usually come in on Thursday nights.
No, he's down in...
And now, Rick sent him on vacation.
Myrtle.
Yeah.
He's down at Myrtle Beach.
Paul needed a couple of days of Western relaxation, right? Myrtle the turtle. He's down there interviewing Lindsey Graham.
Gonna find him at the strip club, Slick.
Oh, there, come on now. What kind of strip club does Lindsay go to?
You know what kind.
This is the one that Paul doesn't go to.
Exactly.
That's which one. Oh, Alicia Domingo says, "Hey, Delgado, did you go cycling today? You can't go cycling
No,
today.
it's the freaking cold.
Snow
Oh, my goodness.
and the snow. My God."
Okay. You're going to run this promo?
Really? No, 3 people there.
Okay.
I had a great meeting today with Legislator with Leslie Kennedy in the Ronkonkoma Chamber and the Civic. The chamber completely changed it over.
Sergeant Arby, good
Started
point. She
working
does
on it
live
soon.
out in the rural part of Arizona there. But again, when you're talking about geofencing, it's just a matter of, her cell phone was working, so I'm sure they could probably pick up other cell phones in the area that.
From powerhouse vocalist Natasha Owens, known for standout singles like Trump One and Somali Waltz, comes her brand new release, The Boss, released on Real America's Music, the label built to amplify unapologetically American voices. The Boss gives a voice to everyday Americans and reminds listeners who truly shapes the future. Not the elites, not the gatekeepers, but the people. Now it's your turn. The Real America's Voice audience has the power to move charts and shake the industry. Push it up the charts. Make them notice.
Scan the QR code or search The Boss on iTunes and pre-save it now. Let's do this together.
All right, 31 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice, Real America's Music, new release tonight, midnight, I believe it is. You can go scan that QR code or go to iTunes right now. Same rules apply as last time. Streaming, it's great, but we got to download it. The Boss, out tonight by Natasha Owens on Real America's Music. Go check it out. Let's take it to number 1 more time. Taking it to number 1. Big D's going to start working on his country album. We're going to take that to number 1 too. My first single is going to be
Good gravy.
either I'm sitting on a cactus or you're just a pain in my ass. How do you think about that?
Dedicated to my good friend Harry Oates.
That's my first single. I don't know what the Zen Master is going to think about that title. Probably.
How about a B-side called Over Here at the Sphere?
Could be. That's not bad, Delgado. Could be. Very good. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you got a better chance at a record than the trip, by the way. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster's got it. What's going on, Slick?
One of the biggest weekends in sports coming up, Big D. All kicked off tomorrow at 2 o'clock is the opening ceremonies in Milan for the Olympics, Big D. They're going to play it live.
So we're talking about the big football game.
We're going to get to that, but we got the woke Olympics. We got to do that first. I mean, we got well this year. I mean, they're already drama now. And we know there's going to be stiff competition, but this story takes the cake. Genital injections sparked cheating allegations at Winter Olympics. Dylan Gwynn at Breitbart.
Excuse me?
Follow me here. It's not unusual for athletes to spare no effort to put themselves into position to win, but this might be taking it a bit too far. The World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, has confirmed that it is investigating allegations that male ski jumpers at this year's Winter Olympics in Italy might have injected hyaluronic acid into their penises in hopes of gaining a competitive advantage. How might that help? I only wanted to get a jump on things. How might that help an athlete in a ski jump contest? According to the German publication Bild, which first reported the controversy in January, suggests athletes are unofficially enlarging their penises before official body measurements to obtain larger competition suits. It's all in the suit. Apparently, a larger suit can greatly improve a ski jumper's performance. That's a legitimate story.
And an extra leg, too.
It's a legitimate story?
It is. I'm not pulling your leg. Yeah. Research published in the scientific journal Frontiers demonstrated that a mere 2-centimeter increase in suit circumference reduces drag by 4% whilst boosting lift by 5%.
Yes, I can attest to that.
Follow the science, Big D.
I have followed the science on this, yes.
Yeah, well, WADA's director, this is Oliver Nigley, confirmed his agency's determination to investigate the claims, even if he's unfamiliar with how an enhanced groin area can benefit a ski jumper.
Sure. Really?
Yeah.
He doesn't know that?
Don't laugh at my grin, right in the chat. I'm not aware of the details of ski jumping and how this can improve, but if anything has to come to the surface, we would look at anything if it's actually doping related, Nigley said. The answer to that comes from FIS ski jumping men's race director Sandro Pertil, who states every extra centimeter on a suit counts. If your suit has a 5% bigger surface area, you fly further, Big D. So this is what it is. Already they're starting with the controversies. It's just unbelievable.
Well, because, once they make that jump, Damon, they have to lean forward. So you need to find any part of you that can lean forward more will take you further.
All right, I'm going to mercifully put an end to sports right now. And please welcome in to live from Studio 6B, who was actually at the big announcement for Trump RX tonight, the president of programming for Rav Espanol. Please welcome Javier Negre to the show. Javier, how are you?
How are you, my friend?
Very
nice
good. Very good. Good to have you on. First of all, for this audience and, of course, everybody watching, give us a little update on Rav Espanol. You're the president of programming. How is Rav Espanol? Where are we making inroads? What's the next 6 months look like? Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
It's very important, the Hispanic programming for rap and Espanol. I want to thank Parker and Rob Sick to help the Hispanic community to have good news and to have the real news, because in the Hispanic outlets normally are controlled by the Democrats, by the globalists, and they're all the time talking bullshit about the ICE operation, like spreading fake news against the ICE operation. And we are telling the truth right now every Sunday in the Right News Show. You can look for it at 8 p.m. in Rap en Español in the website and on different platforms, and of course on YouTube. And we are doing more shows with Raymond Hazard like every single day from Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. You can search online, like talking about good news, about Venezuela, what the U.S. government is doing right there. We talk about the narco president of Mexico, Sheinbaum. We talk about the plan of Marco Rubio to conquer freedom in Cuba. We talk about our favorite president, Milei, Argentinian president, who made a good deal with Scott Bessent, like a lot of money the U.S. lent to the Argentinian government, and now they are making good deals in trade. People in Argentina is really happy with the U.S. government. And we try to reach the Hispanic voters because the Republicans, lost Miami, they lost New York. Because of the Hispanic voters, now they are getting afraid because they are all the time receiving bad news from the Trump administration, because the Trump administration didn't have the outlets to put the good news in the right way. And now with Rap en Español, the Hispanic voters have the chance to have good information without fake news, without misinformation, that people like Alex Soros, George Soros, they are buying a lot of outlets in the Hispanic side because they know that the midterms are going to be working, are going to be, the Hispanic voters are going to be really important. And I think what Rob Sick and Parker Sick makes in Real America's Voice in Español, it's a big movement in the media ecosystem of the United States. I want to thank Alex Bruce, Evit also, and Carol Levitt to put us in the pool, like Rap en Español. And now we can share with Brian Glenn, with Benny Harmony, and with Steve Bannon. We can make these contents dubbed for all the Hispanic community, which is really important. And the Hispanic community love the content of Hispanic, of the Real America's Boy, like 6B. So I want to thanks to have me in your show, of course.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. It's great, and it's great to hear that. And I suspect in the Hispanic community, I remember Rudy Giuliani when he was on this show, and he was talking about crime in these cities. And he said, there was no group that came up to me more, and people were surprised by this, than the African American community, and said, Mr. Mayor, well, people think that we're into crime. We're not. We want police officers. We want more police officers. And I would bet in the Hispanic community, there's a lot more conservatives who want conservative news, like you said, and not the BS. And by the way, I'm glad that you said the real word. That's I'm down with that. Then probably people know. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. The Hispanic community are really conservative. They have kids. They defend the Western value. They are Catholic. They are Christian. They support the ICE operation. But sometimes when in the Hispanic outlets, all the news are against Trump, poor people that they cannot go to the university, they don't have like a good information, they can be like, quite lost, especially when we have Republicans, deputies, or Republican congresswoman like Maria Elvira Salazar today attacking our President Trump, attacking ICE operation, attacking Homeland Security to do their job, like law and order, because the immigrants like me, Hispanic people, we are in the United States in a legal way. And we don't want to have illegal aliens, especially when they are like criminals, because President Trump is deporting especially criminals, but sometimes outlets like Telemundo, Univision, CNN on Espanol, they don't tell the people that most of these illegal aliens are criminals, and what we are doing in Rap en Español every Sunday in the Right News Show is showing their face of these criminals. So I'm really upset with Maria Elvira Salazar because she has to support President Trump, especially when we have the midterms in some months, and now the Democrats are like making laugh about Maria Elvira Salazar like attacking Trump, because it's not good for the Republican Party in this moment to be divided, to be split, and we have to be united, and we have to defending the values of the United States, the value of the Western civilization, and legal immigration, because I'm from Europe, and you have to see how things are going on in Spain. We have a Spanish president that wants to censor social media, that wants to promote the illegal invasion, the illegal immigration in Spain, because he wants to replace Western families to illegal families from Africa, from Afghanistan, and some of them are terrorists. We had big attacks from terrorist organizations in Spain caused by people from Morocco, and what is this with people that Biden and Kamala Harris administration took him and they shot like the National Guards, and they kill people. So I feel sorry when the Republicans like Maria Elvira Salazar attacks President Trump. I really respect this girl, and I hope she made a mistake and tomorrow he changed, because social media is being destroyed right now.
Yeah, I don't know about that. She's been somewhat of a disaster for a long time in my eyes. But let me ask you, let's move on to today, because I know you were at the big announcement, Trump RX. Tell me what you thought about what you saw at the White House today.
Yeah, I was in the pool. It was a beautiful event, historic launch to lower drug prices for American patients. President Donald Trump announced the launch of TrumpRx.gov. It's like a website where patients will be able to access large discounts on many of the most popular and highest priced medicine in the country, paying prices in line with the lowest paid by other developed nations, known as the most favored nation, MFN price. It's like discount of 85% is what President Trump said is the most important news for the healthcare in the world in the last decade. So these drugs are very important. And this is the kind of things that Hispanic community needs to know, how Trump developed the healthcare, take care of people, like giving big discounts. So I was really happy to be there with Rap en Español, and it was with Bobby Kennedy, with people that were involved in the healthcare, in the MAHA, in the Make America Health Again. I think it is going to be a blast, and people really have a good expectation for this website. I'm really happy to be there.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Thank you very much for letting us know what's going on. Thank you very much for getting us caught up on Rav Espanol, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we wait you in Right News Show to talk for the Hispanic community, and thanks for your work.
Thank you so much. Javier Negrete, President of Programming, Rav Espanol. Good stuff. Good stuff going on. All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Break. Chat. All right. Chat live in the chat.
The chat. What's going on in the chat? Alicia Domingo, I just answered her.
What'd you say? Placido Domingo watches?
Yeah, no, not Placido Domingo.
Oh.
Alicia.
Oh, same thing.
Alicia. Elisar.
I was close.
Alicia. Domingo.
Connie Lou on X. Hello.
Oh, there's your friend Sky. She's saying hello. What's happening, Sky? Sky's the limit.
Oh, Farmer Brooks says, Delgado, you're starting to upset me, bro. Need to get on X first, bro.
About what?
You need
Come
to get
on,
on
bro.
X. I want you to get on that first chat.
Oh, sorry. You know what it is? I was poking around trying to get updates on this.
Now, is Brooks making
Savannah Guthrie thing.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
I was distracted. I apologize.
Is Farmer Brook making any picks tomorrow night for the Super Bowl for us? No?
Twix Chicks.
Oh, we're not on the breaks on Getter.
We're not?
Well, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at an Old Glory
You're
Bank
right.
commercial.
Oh, Old Glory Bank. Good bank.
Oh,
Howdy
interesting.
to the Twixers. Tumbleweed Farmer, Racing Banshee, college grad failure, Marcelo Montebello. Dave Syverson, Farmer Brook. Donna's right.
Sky in the chat says, Slick, tell Rick Delgado to show off his arms. LOL. Look at that.
Is that Sky from last night?
Yeah, Sky from last night.
What?
Wants a little flex.
Come on. Found out what time it is. Vanita Simmons.
Becoming like an after. Yeah.
Hey, Slick, Damon,
crazy
Delgado,
ass
and
Gmail.
Paul. Is Paul still there?
He's off
Someone want to
today.
help me with that one? Hey,
Elsie
Slick,
San Diego.
Damon, Delgado, and Paul. Is Paul still there?
No, Paul's off.
He was deported.
Are we asking Paul about himself in that question? What is that? Or am I misreading it? Hey, Slick, Damon, Delgado, and Paul. Is Paul still there?
Did it.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 13 till the hour on a Thursday night. Real America's Voice all across the country, including Amazon Prime. Prime Video live. Real America's Voice. And our friends at Weather Nation are there too. Weather Nation, Real America's Voice, taking over Amazon Prime. You can see it live each and every night.
Wow.
Oh, don't get any better than that.
No.
13 to the hour, we'll do some sports and some news. I cut Slick off so we could get Javier on, and he was great, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Slick, any other sports you want to get to?
Yeah, well, apparently a lawsuit, faulty Tesla charges sparked $4 million fire at mansion of former NFL star Randall Cobb. This is Lucas Nolan of Breitbart. A defective Tesla charging cable ignited a devastating fire that caused more than $4 million in damages to former NFL wide receiver Randall Cobb's mansion in Nashville, Tennessee, according to newly filed court documents. Thankfully, the Cobb family and their dog were able to escaped the blaze without injury. The Independent reports that the fire, which occurred in June of 2024, forced Cobb and his wife Aida, their three young children, and their dog Louie to flee the 7,500 square foot mansion in the middle of the night. All family members escaped without serious injury, though Aida Cobb posted on Instagram at the time that the family was lucky to be alive. According to a civil complaint filed by AIG, Cobb's insurance company, against Tesla, the family evacuated with nothing but the clothes on our back and no shoes on our feet. As Aida wrote on social media following the incident, the blaze completely destroyed a 2022 Tesla Model S Plaid and a Mercedes SUV parked in the garage before spreading throughout the rest of the Green Hills area home, which is valued at $5.2 million by Zillow. Dang. So that's Randall Cobb, great Green Bay Packer. Had a cup of coffee with the Dallas Cowboys too for a while there, and wow, that's a really glad to see they all made it out. It's just a matter of money. He's in a retirement phase, so you hope all goes well with that. Back to the Olympics, Big. Another story I just know you're going to love. Canadian OnlyFans model and Olympic pole vaulter Alicia Newman suspended over anti-doping rules. This is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. Canadian OnlyFans user Alicia Newman, a member of Canada's Olympic pole vault team, has been suspended. Athletics Integrity Unit for violating anti-doping rules. Athletics Canada acknowledged the suspension and said that the responsibility lies with the athlete, while Athletics Canada provides ongoing guidance and reminders to athletes on the requirements for declaring whereabouts. The athlete is ultimately responsible for providing the information in a timely manner as required, the Canadian Sports Authority said in a statement. This is an unfortunate situation, and Athletics Canada hopes to see Alicia Newman back as a part of our national team program when she is available. Newman made quite an impression in 2024 when she broke out in a twerking performance after winning the bronze and setting a Canadian Olympic record at the 2024 Olympics in Paris. So apparently, I can't believe what's going on. The games haven't even started, and they're already nailing these athletes for doping.
Sounds like they've started.
Every advantage. Yeah, well.
Sounds like a lot of games going on.
Well, a lot of games going on. We're going to get to some Super Bowl stories, Big D, in the next couple of segments, and we got big odds makers tomorrow night, too, at the warehouse. We can't miss that. So that's a wrap in sports.
All right, Slick Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Let's get to some headline news with Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon, I know I feel like we're revisiting this story once again, but he's still doing it. I'm talking about Schmucky Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, who today, this morning on MS Now's, formerly MSNBC's Morning Joe, was asked about the SAVE Act. And here he is again. And he's presented with, what's amazing is that in this clip, he's actually presented with polling numbers that show over 70% of Democrats are in favor of the SAVE Act. But he still thinks, well, I guess now he must think that 70% or more Democrats are racist. You got to see it for yourself. Cut number 2. Check this out.
So, Leader Schumer, this talk about election security has revived discussions of the SAVE Act, which you have said you oppose. Proponents of it say that it's, to have ID, you have to prove U.S. citizenship to be able to vote, though some of the claims they make, to be clear, are overstated. We know there's not widespread election fraud. But polling does suggest, there's a Pew Research poll, that 95% of Republicans, but also 71% of Democrats like this idea. So why do you not?
It's Jim Crow 2.0.
Right.
And I called it Jim Crow 2.0, and the right wing went nuts all over the internet. That's because they know it's true. What they're trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting. For instance, if you change, you're a woman who got married and changed your last name, you won't be able to show ID, and you'll be discriminated
against. Oh my goodness, women who get married don't know how to change their ID,
proper ID. You'll be discriminated against. This is vicious and nasty. And I said,
let's hold it for 1 second here. It's interesting that it's interesting. Of course, everything is racist. Of course, Jim Crow.
Racist and sexist.
But isn't it interesting that their first argument past that is where we're separating out the sexes? All of a sudden, we know exactly who women are. They get married. They have kids. All of a sudden, we know exactly what they are, who they are, what they do, what they're capable of. All their other discussions, we have no idea. But when it comes to this, women, we're talking about what? Oh, you mean people who give every other name in the book they got for them. But when it comes to this argument, it's women, the people who can give birth and get pregnant and get married, and then they have to get divorced. They have to show ID. We know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
Every other argument, what's a woman?
I can't tell you.
Not only are we
no
racist,
idea.
but we're sexist too here in the Democrat Party, and we think women are stupid and don't know how to figure out how to get an ID changed. It's an amazing thing, and that is your Democrat leader, Schmucky Chucky Schumer. Here is Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, cut number 3.
Yeah.
She's talking about. She throws it in the face of the media when they're asking about Tulsi Gabbard being involved in election investigations, because it goes to the SAVE Act. Why do you think that we need a SAVE Act? Because of the election interference that has been going on. I mean, the Democrats have been talking about it. They were worried about the Russians interfering in the election. Here it is, cut number 3. Check this out.
Elections are safe and secure. And so the ODNI director is working with the FBI on this effort, and the president wholeheartedly supports both Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard in ensuring that American elections are safe. It's the media who has said that there's Russian interference in American elections. You guys have been saying that for many, many years. So the people in Fulton County. Well, the people in this room, considering that you all said for many years that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump, you should all be very happy that we finally have an administration that is looking into that, and we'll be happy to keep you posted.
Yeah, so she makes a great point, throws it in the face of the stupid left-wing media who claims that there is no problems with elections, unless, of course, it's Russians that are interfering. And finally, this one caught me by surprise, Damon. Cut number 4 from earlier today, John Solomon. Talking about foreign election interference, again, talking about the SAVE Act and using ID and such. But listen to what he had to say about Tulsi Gabbard and some of what they could be finding with election interference from a foreign land. Cut number 4, John Solomon, friend of the show. Check this out.
I believe that the President of the United States is soon going to be briefed by Tulsi Gabbard and other intelligence officials, based on my reporting, about additional intrusions, significant, large-scale intrusions into various forms of our election system. Now, I'm not talking about getting a machine and flipping the vote, but maybe getting enough of state voter databases that a foreign power could work with people on the ground in the United States to fill out fake registrations for people who are on dirty voter rolls. Those licenses that were sent into Chicago were going to be used to make absentee ballot applications, according to the FBI predicate. By the way, Chris Wray's FBI didn't look at that. They shut it down. If a foreign power was that far into the election databases of state systems that they could figure out what driver's licenses to send here, the next question becomes, who were they working with on the ground? Who was going to file those ballot requests? I think that's why Tulsi Gabbard was down in Georgia, why you might see her in Arizona, why the FBI will probably be in Arizona, and why the president's about to get a briefing. And there's one other element to this. If government officials lied to us after the 2020 election, there's still an opportunity in some of those cases to pursue criminal cases against them. We'll see where it all comes out, but that's what's going on in the background of the Save America Act debate right now.
Yeah, so there you have it. Again, another layer to the SAVE Act and why the Democrats don't want to vote for it.
All right, quick wrap, hour 1, hour 2, coming back live from Studio 6B on Thursday night.
Damon, you appear rickless.
It's just me in the chat. What's going on in the chat? Now's your time. Talk, you know what, about Delgado and Slick. They're not here.
Your time is up. I'm back.
Real Bruce Lee, what's going on X? Tim on Facebook. Carry on, Damon. Damon is missing his Ricks. No. Kit Kat on X. Hello, Damon. We need attention. Everybody needs attention. Show some love to the Rumblers. Sergeant Arb, what's going on? Mary Cruz Grant, love your show. Thank you. Susie Bennett, hello, boys. Farm Brook, doing good. A little better every day. Thanks for asking.
Katie, 5.
Damon, will you be watching Blue Balls Bunny for halftime? No.
Balls Bunny. Nobody wants that.
College grad failure. Don't shout me out, Damon, on X. Okay, I won't.
Done laugh at my groin and
Ken Hickey on Facebook. What's going on?
I'll jump back to the X.
Drake 99. Be right back. I'm going to go inject my penis with hydrochloric acid. Okay, very good. What the hell was that?
I don't know. Slick likes those stories.
That's the lead sports story? How about like Knicks win 125, 122, something?
I don't know. He likes to, How
about just like 2 teams, 2 scores, next 2 teams scores?
Hey, believe me, somebody was scoring with that penis that story.
Penis stories? This is a family show.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Families have penises.
Listen, we're saying a lot worse things tonight than penis on this. I'll tell you that much.
What did we say?
Nothing.
Santa Fe Mockingjay.
Oh, I loved that from Javier.
Yeah, apparently he speaks French.
That was great.
Oh,
great way to...
This is a monumental moment in American culture. This Sunday, Real America's Voice and Real America's Music come together to do what the mainstream industry won't. Take the music back. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, we go live with exclusive free coverage of the Turning Point USA All-American Halftime Show, a patriotic alternative. For years, the left has weaponized the music industry, using it to push politics, erase values, and divide the country. That ends now. This all-American halftime show exists to celebrate American pride, traditional values, and artists who still stand with the heartland. Featuring Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett, artists who connect with real Americans. Join us live for coverage that turns the music industry on its head. Real America's Voice, Real America's Music, the TPUSA All-American Halftime Show.
Big D double dizzle in the 6B brizzle live on Real America's Voice Vizzle, baby.
So how we doing, Snoop?
Yeah.
Where's Snoop back at the halftime show?
Snoop's probably at the Olympics. Snoop is a big Olympic dude.
Yeah, I think he's doing
the Olympics.
I think he's
Snoop should be broadcasting something.
He's making cover. MB Snoop.
Where is the Turning Point concert actually held? I don't think it's a public event where people are going to be there, but where did anybody know where they're actually producing it? Oh, okay. Nobody knows. All right.
Harry should know.
Well, no, they didn't want him to show up.
That's going to be Sunday. And I think halftime for the Super Bowl will probably be around 8:40, 8:45.
Yeah.
Are you putting a bet on that?
Something like that.
Yeah, kickoff's like 6:30, 6:40, 7:40. Yeah, you're about right. About 8:15, 8:30.
8:15.
Depends on how many flags they throw.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully not many.
Good point.
But the halftime show obviously will be Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, all of whom I like.
Yeah, good artists.
And Gabby Barrett, who I like a lot. And she's great on social media, too. And good for her for being, stepping out and doing this. I'll bet there's a lot of country acts that could have done this, but didn't have the guts to put their name on it. She did. So that's going to be fun to watch on Sunday. See what we get there. We'll pick the big game tomorrow. The Warehouse odds makers. When we'll pick the game, the total, and your 5 best prop bets. So what color Gatorade, how long the national anthem, or whatever, things like that. Whatever you want to pick, your 5 best ones. And I haven't looked at some of the prop bets, but I'll have to pick a couple myself. So, Delgado, are you going to partake in this last football odds makers and pick something too?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay.
He's going to have a parlay.
I'm going to have a parlay.
Oh, yeah, a pre-made parlay from
No, I do my own now.
Okay,
if I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to lose it on my own.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, we're way behind as usual, but that's fine. Were you done with the SAVE Act, or is there anything else
I was done. Did you want to talk about it?
No, not
discussion?
really.
No? All right. It's up to you.
It's about as much as you want to talk.
I talked about it in the first word. I think that was my, was my second night of my messaging to the Republicans on what they should be out there spending their time on. This is what we should be expanding energy on. Running on things like no state income tax. And again, let's make red states as red as they can make blue states blue. Why don't we run on that? Why don't we run on a full court press back on what they're doing in blue states?
Without all the crime.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they're not going to deport anybody, then in red states, let's deport everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go into the businesses. Let's use every tool at our disposal. But we never do that. So... and speaking of that, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it because we are behind, but there's a great article today by Eddie Scarry over at the Federalist. And, I know you guys made a different argument, and that's fine. And maybe there's people who probably can find themselves into that argument. I can't. And it just seems to me that there's been a lot of talk and a lot of changing of the language and a lot of reframing what we're doing and a lot of reframing on what the goals are. And it just seems like, I know Caroline Leavitt was asked about it today, and she said, "Oh no, we're President's still committed to deporting all 20 million." Well, I mean, that's a pipe dream. Number one, we know that. And that's not his fault. That's just the pure numbers of what we can do. Because I think the official numbers were 700,000. I think in year one, Tom Homan said. So if we're lucky, it's going to be 2.5. Lucky, and it's like an A+ bang up job for 4 years. It's going to be 2.5. 3, maybe. But Eddie Scarry says deporting illegal aliens isn't complicated. Don't let the Democrats complicate it. He says it's useful, if unserious, for congressional Democrat leaders this week to have issued a list of demands in exchange for votes to fund the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration law enforcement. And of course, when you take all your leverage off the table, why shouldn't they? This is exactly what they're going to do. The administration should see it as a reminder that the default position of the Democrats is, quote, pretend to support deporting illegal aliens while overcomplicating the process so as to render it impossible, which is a good way to put it. Senate Minority Leader Schumer, as we just saw, and Hakeem Jeffries, both from New York, published the demands in an open letter on Wednesday detailing 10 things they say they need to strike a deal on more funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Federal immigration agents cannot continue to cause chaos in our cities, the letter said, while using taxpayer money that should be used to make life more affordable for working families. And he says that line right there exposes the Democrats as dishonest. They have no interest in working families, as literally every policy they champion, including open borders, is catastrophic for every working family. In any event, they went on to write that it was critical to come together for the purpose of agreeing on common sense reforms to ICE before Democrats would consent to any more funding. Adamantly, among the 10 proposals, a couple of them actually aren't unreasonable. This is according to Mr. Scarry today, even if Democrats would surely poison pill whatever legislation attempted to include them. The demands include body camera requirements, for example, which the administration has already initiated. But the bulk of them are explicitly intended to prevent as many illegal alien deportations as possible. Starting with the first one, which insists that ICE agents, quote, require verification that a person is not a U.S. citizen before holding them in immigration detention. And he says, well, agents already asked for proof of legal residency before making arrests of unknown subjects, something Democrats oppose. Another one of the demands is for ICE detention centers, quote, to require immediate access to a person's attorney. Both ultimatums serve to reinforce Democrats' favorite method of blocking deportations, which, of course, is, well, this is their method for everything, endless judicial appeals. Behind every illegal alien's judicial appeal is an army of pro bono lawyers funded by left-wing nonprofits whose sole purpose for existing is to keep as many foreigners in the U.S. as possible. And he goes on to talk about other things they want, of course. They want them to wear masks and all this stuff. And then he says, if an illegal alien can't immediately be detained following a final court order for removal, there's no point to any of this. But, of course, there is no point to any of this. Democrats aren't serious about supporting any deportations. And, again, the overall riding theme of this is let's just do what people voted for. And what, the numbers still say overwhelmingly people want, which is deport all of them. And it just seems like we are now all of a sudden not so focused on that.
All right, and let me push back on that article there a little bit, Damon. I did a little search. Pre-inauguration in early January of 2025. Trump has long used similar language to his 2024 campaign, promising to deport the criminals, gang members, and the worst offenders as a top priority. January 2025. Said it again, going after the worst of the worst violent criminal migrants, and even using Guantanamo Bay if necessary. 2025 in February described operations as targeting the worst of the worst, including high-profile uses of Guantanamo for the alleged hardened criminals and deportation flights of murderers, rapists, and pedophiles. I'm sensing a theme here. Like I said, he's been saying this since I remember. All last year. And, you could talk about Yahoo News in July, quoting him saying it, the LA Times in July, him saying it. Back in May, he said it as well. I mean, there's plenty of instances where he said this throughout the entirety of 2025. So when you say the changing of the messaging is, the messaging has changed, I don't think it has. I don't think it has at all, not according to what we're finding here online. Anything from September, yes. October, yes. November, yes. Basically every month it seems like you can find an article with him talking about deporting the worst of the worst.
Here was the messaging. I believe this is 2025. I don't have the exact date. Trump on Truth Social. I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago's about to find out why it's called the Department of War. And then yesterday...
That actually looked like you with the hat on.
Trump says he's adjusting his mass deportations policy to only go into cities if the mayors ask governors, ask and say please, adding, I don't want to go and force ourselves into a city even though their numbers are terrible.
There's a dichotomy there.
So...
and again, that's the same phrasing I've heard throughout the year. To me, it hasn't changed. I think it's just the recollection, just people thinking, well, I thought that meant everything, all at one time. And again, I heard Tom Homan talk about this last year as well, where they aim for the worst of the worst. And if you're a criminal alien, but you're hanging out with somebody who maybe hasn't committed the crime except for coming over the border illegally, which is a crime, you're going as well. So... I don't know.
Well, I do know, and it's not good. And you can look at all the polling right now. If you pay any attention to, everybody loved Mark Mitchell over at Rasmussen for a very long time, I was told. And everybody loves Rich Barris, the People's Pundit. I was told that too, all during election seasons. And they're out there looking at the numbers. And if you follow Mark Mitchell on X, everybody has an opinion on whether it's changed or not changed, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree on what we think is happening. The polling numbers, though, that we're seeing from multiple outlets tell one story. And that story is not a good one for Republicans. And how people feel about this change and softening in language and what it means. I don't need to go through every Mark Mitchell tweet the last couple of days. But their polling of Trump's approval yesterday at 41, heading to the 30s, Last time Trump's approval was this low was because of the Russia collusion hoax. Now it's all self-inflicted, he says. All right, live from Studio 6B, 13 past the hour. More to do. We're back right after this. Rob Jackson on Facebook. Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen is one of the most accurate pollsters, so you better listen to him.
What happened?
That's what I'm told.
Who?
Said Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen.
Oh, good for him. That's what he does.
The pollster.
He's no Harry Enton, though.
No. Nobody's Harry.
Nobody's Harry Enton.
Slick Susie Bennett says she's loving your glasses. That's her favorite color.
Yeah, oh, yeah, good color. Thank you, Susie. I'm ready for a
How
Birch.
much did you pay for those, Slick?
Not too much. Birch Gold commercial, Big D. I think I should wear this suit for the next time we get Philip Patrick on. Actually, he should wear this.
I know. He always wears a white shirt.
Yeah, everybody says that. Yeah. He's good. He's a sharp guy.
Jeanette Pate McDuffie says, I look forward to this show for many reasons. When I first started watching, it was Slick's clothing and shoes.
Wow.
I couldn't wait to see. Now I'm looking forward for Damon's neck wrap scarf, Rick's puppet, and out of this world space news.
What a
I
show.
keep my tinfoil hat on. All of you look nice and are smart. I can tell the news and your opinions are so interesting and entertaining.
How the show has grown.
I personally wish you could curb down the few slang words, private body parts.
Yeah, Slick.
Well, you know, it's not an illegal word to say on TV.
Did I just date myself? Yes. I'm a senior in a modern day, too, but saying this in
Slick's
good
a
nature.
senior.
Thank you very much.
No, I'm not a senior quite yet. Close enough.
And it's Thursday
What's
night shirt
considered
night,
senior
so.
these days?
I would think 65.
Matthew Schollenberger says, Damon, are you high Trump's 80% approval?
But people, I think 60 is a senior now with ARP.
Matthew, okay. You can roll with that. You can roll with that.
And you can roll with it. Hey, you can roll with it. I shouldn't do that, should I? Shut up, Aaron. Chat, live in the chat. Who else is chatting? What? Connie Lou.
How do you do? Damon, you're spot on.
Over in the YouTubes.
Bobby Bowles. Bobby blessed.
Juicy P 113. Woody girl. I'm trying to read it as the whole thing was moving on me.
Moving and shaking.
Well, everyday Americans, well, no, not everyday Americans, but everyday Americans every day, they make choices that shape our country's future right down to which cell phone provider they're going to support. Here's what most people don't realize. Patriot Mobile isn't just a wireless provider. They're an activist organization funded by selling top-tier cell phone service. They've been on the front lines defending our freedoms long before it was cool, standing in the gap when others wouldn't. And the best part is they deliver prioritized premium service on all three major U.S. networks, giving you the same or even better coverage. Backed by a 100% U.S.-based customer support team. That's great. Get unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and more. And when you switch to Patriot Mobile, You'll help grow a movement that fuels the Christian conservative cause. Every bill you pay helps advance the values of faith, family, and freedom. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or you can call 972-PATRIOT, and you can use promo code RAV for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code RAV at checkout to get a free month of service. Call our friends at Patriot Mobile right now, 972-PATRIOT, and make the switch today. All right, live from Studio 6B, 18 past the hour. Let's do some sports, then we'll do some more news. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, in addition to the big NFL game Sunday, tonight's a big night in the NFL, Big D. At the Palace of the Fine Arts in Santa Clara, they have the awards night tonight, the NFL Honors, where they're going to announce the MVP of the 2025 season, and offensive and defensive players of the year. In addition to that, the 2026 class of Hall of Fame will be announced tonight as well. So just started about 20 minutes ago, and if anything
Who's
comes
the
up
MVP
big,
going to be?
Oh, I think it's got to be Matthew Stafford. He had a great year. 4,500 yards, 47. No, I think Stafford.
Drake May.
Drake May? Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Nope. It's going to be Stafford.
Okay.
Aaron was riding Stafford all year, too, right? He was winning a lot of games for you.
Really, dude?
You say no because you know Aaron, or you're just saying no, you're an idiot, Damon? It's going to be Stafford.
No, I think it's going to be Stafford, 100%.
Because she's a Jets fan, Damon. They hate the Patriots.
Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett.
Drake May played excellent this year, but only year two. Stafford's a vet. I think he's going to get it either way.
I'd like to see Dak Prescott get comeback player of the year. That'd be nice. He had a good year this year as well. He was up the running for MVP, too, until his team tanked. But,
yeah, they had a good playoff run.
What about Sam Darnold?
Well, that's not, comeback player of the year.
What about him?
From an injury.
Yeah.
Not from the Jets.
He's going to win player who, once he finally got to a real team, knew how to play award.
Right, he had a ghost of a chance.
He already won that, just like every other Jet quarterback the past 15 years who left us. I'm not bitter.
Speaking of the Jets, Jets have not been made the playoffs in 15 years. That is the longest streak of any northeastern continent sports franchise.
Well, before they make the playoffs, maybe they should worry about trying to make an interception on the season.
Right?
We're the best at not doing it.
Start with the basics. Football 101.
Crazy.
Hey, defense, find an interception in 17 games. Let's start there.
Next year's our year.
Oh.
To what?
To get one. They're going to get one.
Yeah, we'll get one interception.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Come on.
Yep.
Be positive.
And, speaking of an NFL great who probably someday will make the Hall of Fame, Christian McCaffrey earns Salute to Service Award after raising $700,000 for military families. Says it's a huge honor. This is Ryan Morick of Fox News. San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey was named the recipient of the NFL's 2026 Salute to Service Award presented by USAA. The San Francisco 49ers running back launched his 23 and Troops Foundation in 2021 to focus on post-traumatic stress and athlete-level care for veterans. The foundation has raised $700,000 for military support and paid off holiday layaway for 515 military families. McCaffrey grew up about a half hour away from a military base, so he always knew that this was the community he wanted to help. I think it was just from a young age my parents instilled on me the respect to the military and what it means to live in this country. I always appreciated that, and growing up in that area, a lot of your mentors end up becoming veterans because they are in the area and you learn from them. You learn about their experiences and some of the stuff they did or saw, and it made me really just appreciate it even more. So that's a great story. Christian McCaffrey, class act, and we got cut one here on this.
It means the world to me. It's a huge honor. I have a great team that I work with that takes helping out veterans and our active duty service members seriously, and I'm really proud of the work we've done, and I'm super excited about the work to come in the future. We get to play a kids game for a living, and we play in front of millions of people, and a lot of that is because of the people who have sacrificed for us. It's not just the people who have served or are serving; it's their families, their wives, their husbands, their kids, who have to go through so much, and a lot of it's unseen. They don't get credit for this stuff, and so I've always had an affinity for the military. I've always loved and respected all of them. And I think when I first started this, I read a statistic that 22 veterans commit suicide every day. And that's not a fun topic to talk about. It's great to receive awards, but then you hear that, that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to chop down that number as much as possible. And, one of the things I've learned is there's so many foundations and people that are trying to help as well. And so learning from them, partnering with other people, there's no competition in that. It's an all hands on deck topic that needs to be addressed. And that's the reality of the situation. But really excited about where we're headed and trying to see if we can continue to get that number down and help out the people who help us.
That's good, Aaron. Thank you. Yep. Beautiful. And
Great stuff.
I got a couple more stories, Big D, but if I'm short on time, I'll wrap it up there and give it back to you.
All right, 23 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll do some headline news. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, you're talking about polling numbers, and over on the Getter chat here, Elizabeth N. Ultra Nuclear MAGA, say that 10 times fast. She says, Damon, she thinks your numbers are wrong. And
okay. Well, they're not my numbers. They're not my numbers.
And Harry Etten seems to be thinking the same thing, because according to him, CNN's data chief, Harry Etten, he loves the polls, Damon. He says Trump's grip on the GOP is hitting record highs, believe it or not. If you don't believe it, check out Harry. Here he is, cut number 5, Harry Etten from CNN. Check this out.
Yeah, over the long run, that's what I think is so important here. And it's not just about Donald Trump. It's about the Make America movement. Again, that's what we're talking about, Make America Great Again movement, and it is as powerful as it has ever been, because I want you to take a look here. GOP who view MAGA favorably. 2 years ago, when Donald Trump was running for term number 2, it was 74%. Today, look at this. It's 78% of Republicans who view the Make America Great Again movement favorably. So we're talking about something that, in my opinion, will very much be able to outlast Donald Trump. Trump is in term number 2. He can't run for a term number 3. But the bottom line is this. What he brought into the GOP looks like it's going to last long beyond him.
Yeah, and when you're talking about long beyond him, you're talking about 2028, and the race for the presidency in 2028 has already started with Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom, of course, starting to position themselves for a run. But also, here is Harry Etten on CNN.
By the way, can I just say I don't disagree with that at all, that Trump's grip on the MAGA base is as high as it's ever been. Not one iota word of that do I disagree with.
All right.
That's nothing to do with his poll numbers.
Well, here is Harry Etten on the popularity of the presumptuous Republican nominee, J.D. Vance. Cut number 6. Check this out.
The Republican base loves J.D. Vance. What are we talking about here? Someone who really represents the Make America Great Again movement. This is somebody a year ago, his favorable rating among Republicans, 81%. Latest Marquette University Law School poll, look at this. 84%. 84%. So if anything, his favorable rating is somewhat up from where it was a year ago, after a year of Trump. And of course, that matches what we see when it comes to MAGA, right? It matches what we see coming to MAGA, whereby it was 74 and now it's 78%. If anything, MAGA's grip on the GOP, and it seems like the next in line to be the next standard bearer of MAGA, both of them, their favorable ratings are actually up after a year of Donald Trump's second term.
Bang. Give it to us, Harry. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
They've got an injection. I don't know what I'm watching.
That's the NFL on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So they're doing a bit with the Pope. The Pope is doing a bit.
Whoa, he lost his head.
Oh, he lost his Pope hat. Can't lose a Pope hat.
Can't lose a Pope hat,
He
man.
puts it on sideways. You know, you can fill that thing up with popcorn.
What she's doing.
Erin liked that one. She likes popcorn. Smart Pop. That's right. Skinny
Pop.
Tastes like cardboard.
We have no trees here. We don't even have water. I got to bring you on water. How should I do?
Aaron, let me have a little sound on my computer, please. We'll see Mark Mitchell today on Fox.
Happened is also his approval has dropped. It actually hit negative 16 net points today, 41% approve. That's worse than it's been all the way going back to December of 2017. So people are not liking what he's doing. And a lot of it is because of the ICE optics. We've seen over the last couple of months an uptick in people who support sanctuary policies, and a plurality of Americans now say that ICE tactics are too harsh. And so we have this situation where people don't like the optics that are coming out of it, and yet they also don't like the fact that we haven't deported more people. But I think there's happened is also his approval.
Hey, Damon, Chris P. in the Getter chat says, I believe these hosts just like to get our goat and get us pissed off.
I mean,
that's fine.
Actually, not at all. But I do think we should be realistic about where we are. You think he's at 80%. I can tell you right now.
With the GOP, is it at 8%?
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that. But I'm not. When I talk these numbers, I'm never talking within the GOP.
No, you're talking about Democrats.
I'm just talking about the overall polling for the congressional ballot and the president's approval rating among all voters that get polled from guys like Mark Mitchell.
Well, right now, it don't matter. What matters is going to start in the summer.
I totally disagree.
That's where the economy is going to be front and center. B. Mindus says, is Democrat Damon up to it?
Up to what?
It keeps scrolling past. I can't.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Thursday night. Slicks here is going to do some more sports before we wrap. Delgado's going to have a couple more headlines. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Please welcome back to the show Dr. James Thorpe, Chief of Maternal and Prenatal Health over at the Wellness Company. Dr. Thorpe, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Great to see you, Damon, Rick, and Slick.
Good to see you as well. Welcome on back to the show. Always a pleasure to have you on. You know, February is National Cancer Prevention Awareness Month. Cancer is obviously something that touches almost every single American. Almost everyone has either had cancer, similarly known a friend, known a family member, loved one who's had it. When it comes to this, do you think that we ought to be doing more research and exploring new lost treatment options and help prevent and treat cancer? I had a friend of mine who's actually going to Sloan Kettering right now, and she described it as a novel pancreatic cancer treatment. Where do you stand on all this?
Yes, I think there needs to be more focused research on some of the safer repurposed medications. Take, for example, ivermectin and fenbendazole. Nobody's willing to pour in large amounts of money because you can't get a patent on them. But a patent and money-making should not ever preempt saving human lives.
Yeah, and obviously, when you look at research and things that have been done, there's obviously been some phenomenal advancements in cancer treatment. But you know, like you said, the vast majority of these treatments are, number one, expensive, really exorbitantly expensive. Do you think that Big Pharma's bottom line plays a role in keeping these treatments expensive, and should we be looking for lower cost options? I mean, Trump today announces Trump RX, kind of a central hub for people to kind of get price. They're not selling drugs to people, but at least to kind of be a central hub for pricing to bring you to where you can get better pricing. What do you think about all that?
Well, I think you're spot on. Now, I just got on the Trump RX earlier today and tried to look for chemotherapeutic agents. And maybe I'm missing them, but I couldn't find any. And, you know, you're right. It's exorbitant. The average chemotherapy for a complete treatment plan, which might be 3 months or 6 months. The cheaper one is $10,000 to $100,000, but the more newer ones are $150,000 to $200,000 cash. Who has that money to spend on a treatment?
Yeah, very, very tough. Nobody has it, to answer your question, number one, and very tough. You mentioned before combinations like ivermectin and menbenzidol, things like that, and obviously there's a lot of things that shows great promise. But and then let's look at someone like Scott Adams, who very early on in his cancer road, tried it, and with maybe not as much effectiveness as maybe he thought. When you have a combination like that a lot of people are talking about, but then you hear some people who've tried it and maybe not had success, does something like that deserve additional research as a potential treatment? How do we get to a point where people kind of can feel secure in what those two together can do? How do we get to that point?
We need a very expensive elite research investigation that, in technical terms, would be a randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled trial. Very expensive, and like I said, who's going to pay for it? You and I aren't going to flip our wallets open and fund it. So it's very difficult, but it needs to be done. It's very, very important that it's done, and we ought to look at other more natural botanicals that show huge promise, but again, they're natural, and you can't get a patent on it. Big pharma's not going to fund them.
Yeah. We always talk about, obviously, treatment when it comes to cancer and things, treatment. But, one of the treatments is prevention. So what should we be doing to focus a little more on maybe prevention waiting till it's too late, where then you can only focus on treatment?
I think there's some very important down-to-earth things that we should all be considering. Sucrose, also known as sugar, promotes cancers, as it does, paralyzes the immune system, and increases the risk of infection. You want to stay away from sugar. Delete it. There's other very important health risks. Obviously, don't smoke. Don't drink, if or at least minimize the amount of alcohol. Also very important, weight. Weight is associated with cancer, both male and female. You want to stay fit. Intermittent fasting is a huge one that will reduce the risks.
Speaking of one of your colleagues, Dr. Kelly Victory, who we've had on before, I know she's had her own journey with cancer, and the wellness company has a new product out called Shield, which has some relation to her journey. Can you tell us a little bit about Shield and how it works?
Yeah, Shield is a terrific product. I think it's composed of 9 natural botanicals, each of which may have some beneficial effect in terms of preventing cancers. This would be, for example, ashwagandha, mushrooms, not the kind you guys are thinking about, the safe natural mushrooms, turkey tail mushroom, reishi mushrooms, olive oil, oregano oil, and there's 9 ingredients within that. And I think there's a lot to be said. Like you said, an ounce of prevention is worth 10 tons of cure in our business.
Yeah. Of course, you can go visit our friends at the Wellness Company online, www.twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice. You can use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Again, head over to twc.health/voice. Use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. Dr. James Thorpe is the Chief of Maternal and Prenatal Health at the Wellness Company. Dr. Thorpe, we always appreciate you coming on, giving us a few moments. Before I let you go, do you have a Super Bowl pick that you'd like to share with us now?
Well, I think I'll go with the team to the north, but I also want to challenge you guys. Have you all seen the new Netflix premiere, Boys of 80?
It's on my watch list.
Miracle.
We've heard about it. We actually talked about it, but I have not watched it yet. So wait, they're both from up north. Which one? The north? So you're going Seattle or are you going New England?
Yeah, northwest or northeast?
Yeah, exactly.
Seattle.
Oh.
He's going Seattle. Good pick, Doc.
All right, very good. Slick's with you. The sports guy's with you on that pick. Yeah. I don't think I am. We'll see.
You notice he was trying to be a little slick there. He was
I didn't want to admit.
So
Not a team up north. Don't worry about it.
Can't lose. I can't lose. Heads I win, tails you lose.
All right, go visit our friends at the Wellness Company, twc.health/voice. Dr. Thorpe, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks for having me, Damon Slick.
Dr. James Thorpe from the Wellness Company. Check him out. Go check out that shield.
He was trying to pull one over on us. Pick.
Well, he's with the majority of the public. Everybody's on Seattle.
Yeah, they're all picking the North team.
Yet I don't think the line has moved. I think we're still looking at a solid 4.5. I believe in this game, are we not?
Hasn't moved that.
I gotta see a 5 up there. Seattle -5, 45.5.
Whoa!
Is that gonna completely drive you bananas, Aaron? If Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl?
You know, I've thought about this a little bit, and at first, yes, I was like, I don't even know if I want to watch this because how am I going to watch my AFC East rival and Sam Darnold in the same Super Bowl? But honestly, you have to be happy for him because even Joe Douglas said when they let him go, I guess in 2021, whatever it was, said they knew that he was going to have success. It just wasn't going to be with the Jets because they didn't have the right team around him. So I do wish him success. I don't wish that he wins the Super Bowl, though.
Longest team in the actual northeastern continent.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up.
I have a question for you, Aaron. When you say when you say our rival, what how do you define that these days? When you lose every game to them for the last 10 years, they're a rival?
Yeah, they're a rival.
Okay,
that's a rival that never lands.
Same, whatever.
They're like the Washington Generals.
Rival.
I had to sit there with my parents when I took them to the game for Christmas. It was my dad's Christmas gift, the Patriots and Jets game. I gave him the worst Christmas ever.
Yeah. Is that when he was
watched
seeing
him
ghosts?
get filleted every 5 minutes. So
Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts, right?
That was a terrible game.
It was. Thank you.
Oh, we were at that game.
Me and Slick were at that game.
We were.
Yeah, we were sitting in the.
We were sitting in royalty, man. We were in the Jets box.
Yeah, we were in the box, man.
We were eating like it was.
We had big D seats for that one.
Those were rock star seats. Like you never seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all right, 20 minutes till the hour. Let's do some headlines. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, the White House is pushing out some numbers for you as a new milestone is hit in Operation Metro Surge. 4,000 plus criminal illegals removed from the Minnesota streets, believe it or not. Today in Minneapolis, Border Czar Tom Homan underscored the unprecedented level of cooperation now emerging from local officials compelled by the Trump administration's sustained resolute enforcement. And we're talking about 4,000 criminal illegals, violent killers, rapists, gang members, and other public safety threats have been arrested and removed from the state of Minnesota, according to the Operation Metro Surge. It's a landmark achievement, marking another decisive step forward in the Trump administration's relentless drive to dismantle the devastating effect of the radical left's open border policies. And speaking of the radical left and the open border, well, one of their clown shoes was on display today. His name, Mayor Fry, Jacob Fry. He jumped on CNN to not answer a question that you can see here. Cut number 7 as he gets called on the carpet
that during the Obama years, the Hennepin County Jail actually had a policy where they let an ICE agent keep an office there and allowed them to talk to immigrants. So the policy has clearly been, under a Democratic president, what now the Trump administration is asking for. I mean, big picture, do you think it's good policy for the jails to follow an ICE detainer and hand someone over if they've committed a crime? And again, this only happens after they've served their time, for whatever crime they may have committed against the people of Minnesota.
What was that question?
Look, you're asking all the right questions here.
But he's not going to answer.
While I don't have full expertise in how the operations at the jail are conducted, again, that's not our jurisdiction. What I would say is that there are mechanisms to do this lawfully.
Yeah. He basically wouldn't answer the question. The part that you didn't hear because I was still talking was she was asking, during President Obama's term, ICE actually had an office set up in some of these jails so they could pick these guys up as soon as their term was done, and why that wasn't being done now. And basically, she called him out on, the different approach just because it's a different party who won the presidency.
I mean, I'm not defending Jacob Frey, but if anybody could understand that question and answer it, then they're better than me because I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. Big announcement out from the State Department tonight. Leave Iran now. We'll talk about this when we get back.
I have a theory, and I had this theory today. Damon.
Theory?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
I think the reason why President Trump isn't at the Super Bowl has nothing to do with the game or who's playing or who's halftime. I think it has to do with something's happening this weekend because he said it's too far away. Far away? Since when? Far away from.
Well, we have an announcement now from the State Department.
I had that theory today, and I was tell Slick.
Yeah. Wow.
And now you just made that mention.
Get out.
I think it's going to happen during the Super
Bowl. Don't walk, ran. I'm going to ran out of Iran. Yeah.
That's why he's not going to the Super Bowl. No other reason.
Not because it's just a dud of a game?
Nope.
No.
He's been friends with Robert Kraft too long.
Yeah, that's a good point. He is good friends with Robert Kraft. That is a very good point. He would be there for him. And, that's... Come on, Rick, you might be right.
Oh, could be.
There's a first time for everything.
That's the only
slick one. That was
only time you'll ever see Damon laugh is when he tells his own joke.
No, he laughs at my jokes sometimes.
That's all I try to do is make myself laugh. If I could do that once a night.
He just gives you courtesy.
Or Slick. Well,
that could be. You might be right. It could all be an act. You're right. Yeah, I know.
Slick does it all the time.
Come on. Aaron, I think I'm going to do the Robert Kraft story first, and if I get to Tate McRae, I will. But,
Jesus.
All right, I won't do her. All right, then I'll do the other one, the Ice House one. Well, you don't like Tate McRae?
You don't like Tate McRae?
You don't want... This is
I get you know what this is.
Well, she's a Canadian pop star. She's rooting for the American team. I'm trying to get the Olympics going here. The Super Bowl's going to be a one and done. The Olympics are going to be on for weeks.
Why don't you have a red, white, and blue jacket for the Olympics?
Because it didn't start yet. Tomorrow's the open.
Red, white, and blue jacket?
I don't have a red, white, and blue jacket. I have red, white, and blue jackets, but I don't have one.
We started with penises. We're ending with Tate McRae. Interesting.
She has a...
Just about a half hour ago, 31 minutes, U.S. Embassy warned citizen to leave, quote, leave Iran now. You want to throw this up, Aaron? This is out from the embassy. Location, Iran countrywide event. Increased security measures, road closures, public transportation disruptions, and internet blockages are ongoing. The government of Iran continues to restrict access to mobile, landline, national internet networks. Airlines continue to limit or cancel flights to and from Iran. U.S. citizens should expect continued internet outages. Plan alternative means of communication, and if safe to do so, consider departing Iran by land to Armenia or to Turkey. Actions to take. Leave Iran now. Have a plan for departing Iran that does not rely on U.S. government help. Flight cancellations, check directly with your airline. If you cannot leave, find a secure location within your residence or another safe building.
Damn.
Wow.
Have a supply of food and water, medications, other essentials. Avoid demonstrations. Keep a low profile. Stay aware of your surroundings. Monitor local media for breaking news. Be prepared to adjust your plans. Keep your phone charged and maintain communication with family and friends to inform them of your status. Enroll in the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program to receive the latest updates on security in Iran.
You got a storm coming.
That's it.
You got a storm coming.
So make of that what you will.
Oof.
That out about 30 minutes ago. So.
And if you were in the chat watching, I shared my theory of why President Trump didn't go to the Super Bowl this year. I think this has been planned. I think they planned it for Super Bowl weekend because I think it was a way to kind of keep things kind of under the radar, so to speak, until the last moment. So.
Okay. All right, let's do a little more news and sports. We'll wrap it up here for a Thursday. Slick, I'll give you first crack. What else is on your radar?
Okay, well, update on the NFL honors. Congratulations. Christian McCaffrey just won NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Just a few minutes ago, we ran that story for him, and he actually won the award coming back from a really devastating injury. So great to see. He had a fantastic year, over 2,100 yards combined. And sticking with the Super Bowl and everything going around that, and a great friend also of Donald Trump, and that would be Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Another reason that raises your eyebrow that he's not there. We were talking about in the break. Okay, well, he's going to continue anti-Semitism fight with new $15 million Super Bowl ad campaign. Scott Thompson of Fox News. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft's Blue Square Alliance Against Hate, a mission aimed at standing up against Jewish hate, announced a new Super Bowl ad ahead of the game this Sunday in Santa Clara. While Kraft is focused on winning another Super Bowl ring for his franchise, he's also calling on all Americans to stand up against anti-Semitism and all forms of hate through a new ad entitled Sticky Note. The ad features a young student who is victimized in the halls of his school for being Jewish, with classmates sticking a degrading anti-Semitic note on his backpack without him noticing. It goes on to show a fellow student soundly overlaying the hateful sticky note with one of his own, a blue square. Here you go, the picture right here now. The student also places a similar blue square on his chest and proudly walks alongside the Jewish boy. For the third straight year, the Blue Square Alliance Against Hate is proud to show up on sports' biggest stage and speak directly to more than 120 million Americans with an urgent message. Stand up for each other and stand up to hate wherever you see it, Kraft said in a statement. And, well, he's going to have a heck of a big day. He better hope his team can stand up to the Seattle Seahawks and pull that game off. It's going to be something else. And just one more big D. We got the Olympics, and I'm going to be, putting those in and stories in as well. Canadian pop star Tate McRae responds to fan backlash over Team USA support in Olympics ad. Paulina Dadaj of Fox News. Canadian-born pop star Tate McRae doubled down on her roots after fans were left outraged on social media by her support of Team USA in a recent ad promoting the Milan Cortina Olympics and Super Bowl 60. McRae, who was born in Calgary, Alberta, appeared to intensify the sporting rivalry between Canada and the U.S. when she appeared in an ad for NBC in the clip. Shared on Instagram with her 9 million followers, McRae expressed excitement about meeting U.S. athletes, including Olympic gold medalist Lindsey Vonn. I'm trying to get to Milan for an amazing opening ceremony and meet Team USA, she said in the ad. Going to spend the week with some of America's best skating for gold and Lindsey Vonn's epic comeback and back to the States for the big game, Super Bowl 60, she said in the commercial. Amid rising political tension between the two border nations, which made their way to the sporting world during the Four Nations face-off, McRae's support for Team USA did not appear to sit well with the Canadians, who called her a traitor, among other things. But she's obviously a Canadian at heart. You can see pictures of her little girl there with a Canadian flag. So it's heating up, boy. I know USA and Canada have a lot of axe to grind, and USA is going to have a tough run trying to beat the Canadian hockey team. But I sure as heck would like to see it. And that was pretty cool. So that's a wrap in sports. Back to you, Big D.
Actually, Slick, you do have two quick breaking news right there.
Oh, Myles Garrett. I called that early. He won NFL Defensive Player of the Year. And Mike Vrabel of the Patriots, Big D, he got Coach of the Year. Very good for Mike.
His quarterback fact, about to get MVP of the year.
I don't think so.
And
that's a wrap.
Live from Studio 6B, 8 minutes to the hour. Delgado will take us home here. What else you got in headlines?
All right, well, check this one out. One of your favorite members of the House, Damon, is being featured in a comprehensive new briefing document from a prominent nonpartisan research and policy group sounding the alarm on serious ethical and national security concerns related to, wait for it, Democrat Representative Rashida Tlaib. Yes, and her affiliations, Damon, with individuals and organizations linked to designated foreign terrorist entities. The conduct of the Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, including her rhetoric, affiliations, campaign infrastructure, and ideological alignment with certain individuals and organizations, raises serious concerns, it says here, about potential risks to the ethical and institutional integrity of the United States government. The report released by the Institute of Study of Global Anti-Semitism and Policy Advocacy and Policy-Oriented Armed States. The report details recurring patterns of behavior and says it suggests an ideological affinity for radical movements, including participation in conferences featuring convicted terrorists, to significant campaign payments made to activists linked to Hamas and other popular fronts of the Liberation Palestine aligned networks. Matter of fact, going back a little bit, but our own friend of the show, we're talking Ben Bergquam, he actually tried to confront Rashida Tlaib a little while ago regarding some of her stance. This is cut number 8. Check out Ben Bergquam, friend of the show, cut 8.
Congresswoman, will you denounce Hamas? Will you denounce Hamas? Why do you support terrorists?
I can't right now, she said.
No, you're supporting terrorists. No, you're supporting terrorists. You're supporting terrorists.
Now listen closely. Yelling at her staff.
She's screaming in there.
Because he got in.
That's what we have in Congress, guys. That's what we have in Congress.
Yeah, there you have it. The briefing covers Tlaib's financial history as well. Says her campaign apparatus poured large sums of cash to anti-Israel activists, including almost $600,000 between 2020 and 2025, to Unbought Power, a consulting firm headed by Rasha Murabak. So there you have it. Some disturbing research findings regarding, Damon, your favorite, one of your favorites in the House, Rashida. How do you say it again?
Tlaib.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so what happens from here?
That'll be a good question. See if anything happens.
Oh.
To leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying to Ben.
Oh, man. Ben's best one, I still think, was when he got, what's her name out there from MSNBC? Joy Reid.
Yep. Asking about her hair.
Yeah, I still think that was
Oh, that was a good one. That was fantastic. Yeah.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, live from Studio 6B audience. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night at the America First Warehouse, 8 p.m. live from Studio 6B.
of our Gold IRA brochure today.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul. For 50 years, I've watched Washington betray the American people with dishonest money. Nixon's closure of the gold window made endless debt and war inevitable. Today, our middle class, our currency, and our economy are